Twin flames are perceived as a profound divine step beyond the well-known concept of soulmates. Soulmates for many can encompass romantic partnerships, friendships, and close platonic love between family members. A person can have many variations of soulmates throughout their life's journey. A twin flame union is a more rarefied, delicate, deeply spiritual and precious connection between two individuals. In essence, twin flames anchors itself in the realms of reincarnation, one soul divided, distilled into two different bodies during a certain incarnation, with both persons divinely destined to meet and act as a powerful catalyst for fast-track soul growth and spiritual advancement, with a view towards intense levels of healing and eventually both being in service to humanity. The path is a rocky one and embodies a certain level of discomfort and hurt as each twin triggers and exposes trauma from childhood, past experiences, and relationships. Some feel everyone is destined to have a twin. Others feel only ones who have reached a certain level of spiritual development are granted the experience of a twin flame journey. Is there also an increasing prevalence of this type of connection, now due to the rapidly expanding consciousness of humanity? Some have criticised the twin flame concept as an excuse to endure and put up with toxic, unhealthy relationships. Others view it as a spiritual challenge that through dedicated work and endurance will eventually bring absolute peace, love, and harmony through the heartache of a twin flame journey, via intense levels of healing and balancing of masculine and feminine energies harboured within. Some who prescribe to the idea of humanity existing within a controlled unseen prison, like Matrix simulation, in which reality itself has been hijacked by unseen forces, perceive that the union of twin flames, due to its powerful spiritual effect on the surrounding collective, has been artificially blocked and prevented. Because of this, it's been proclaimed and perceived that all twin flame unions are actually false and have only occurred as a result of channeled energy of their real, separated, quarantined twin flame. As the wellness and spiritual industry grows, the understanding and exposure to the concept of twin flames gains increasing traction in the public consciousness. Is this merely a spiritual fad, or is it the symptom of a rapidly awakened human collective consciousness linked to the potential developing scenario of ascension, which views our reality as currently existing in a third dimension, with ourselves, our planet, our reality, imminently shifting into the 5D, the fifth dimension? Will this shift awaken humanity's latent junk DNA and upgrade the human body, its consciousness, and the Earth with seemingly godlike abilities? Is the rapid prevalence of twin flames an inevitable consequence of this dimensional shift, as people heal and develop their spiritual abilities, eradicating past traumas and hurt? Can we perceive twin flame unions as preparing individuals to act as ascension buddies? It is thought with the power of their firmly healed, cemented union, the twins will be activated into service mode, assisting with potential profound consciousness shifts within our society. The spiritual understanding of twin flames, as mentioned, is firmly rooted in the concept of reincarnation, with the soul reincarnating over multiple lifetimes as a soul chooses to experience love, happiness, pain, violence, a huge spectrum of human 3D emotions. Some may also experience lifetimes on other star systems. If we look at the mainstream perspective and understanding of reincarnation, its earliest recorded point of documentation came at least 600 years before the birth of Christ, surfacing in India via the Upanishad writings. These divinely inspired spiritual teachings went on to influence Hinduism. Its concepts continued to spread into China, influencing Taoism, the Middle East, and then trickling into Southern Europe, subsequently influencing Greek theology. Reincarnation concepts were at the time freely discussed by leading Greek thinkers such as Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Eventually the teachings would become the central pillar to Christianity, but gradually over time manipulation and distortion of humanity's ego and individuals' thirst for control, reincarnation was continually suppressed from Christian teachings. Currently, roughly 2/3 of the world population believe in reincarnation. The Western world gradually is accepting these teachings back into their spiritual paradigm via the continuing spread of New Age wellness and Eastern philosophy from yoga, meditation, and other spiritual practices, which are increasingly resonating with the more and more work-weary, depressed, highly medicated Western population. In terms of westernized scientific research into the nature of reincarnation, American psychiatrist Dr. Ian Stevenson spent 40 years researching past lives and reincarnation with methodical rigor. His work at the time was even highly praised by the American Medical Association for the quality of his research. He researched and documented thousands of documented past life stories and was even able to confirm many of the stories. Another point of profound evidence, the seminal book Journey of the Souls by Michael Newton, who via regression was able to record in detail the death process and subsequent journey of the soul as it passes over into the afterlife, and its eventual decision to reintegrate back into the physical body to learn and experience all that the physical world has to offer. All of Newton's research was garnered via the correlated stories from various unconnected clients of Newton's who were under hypnosis. Much of the information and understanding of the very concept of twin flames stretches back hundreds, if not thousands of years. The ancient Greek philosopher Plato, more than 2,600 years ago, was quoted as saying in this symposium, a philosophical dialogue written sometime after 385 BC, which explored the very nature of love. The following is an extract from this dialogue. And when one of them meets the other half, the actual half of himself, the pair are lost in amazement of love and friendship and intimacy, and one will not be out the other side even for a moment. These are the people who passed their whole lives together, yet they could not explain what they desire for one another, for the intense yearning which each of them has towards the other does not appear to be their desire of lovers' intercourse, but of something else, which the soul of either evidently desires and cannot tell, and of which she only has dark and doubtful presentiment. If Hephaestus, son of Zeus, were to ask the pair, "Do you desire to be wholly one, always day and night, and be in one another's company? For if this is what you truly desire, I am ready to melt you into one, and let you grow together, so that becoming two, you shall become one, and after your death, in the world beyond, you will still be one departed soul, instead of two. I ask you whether this is what you lovingly desire, and there is not a man or woman of them who, when you heard the proposal, would not acknowledge that this melting into another, this becoming one instead of two, was the very expression of their ancient need. And the reason that human nature was originally one, and we were a whole, and the desire and pursuit of the whole, is called love." Close quote. Idris Shah, an author and teacher of Sufi tradition, which is perceived to be a form of Islamic esoteric mysticism, also documented the existence and understanding of twin flames in the Sufi beliefs. Quote, "Out of the original unity of being there is a fragmentation and dispersal of beings, the last stage being the splitting of one twin soul into two, and consequently, love is the search by each half of the other half on earth or in heaven. As twin souls are so alike to begin with, it seems necessary for them to go their separate ways before they can complete each other. Identity and complementary are the two driving forces and axes of love. For the complete being, there must be a blending of the two." The American clairvoyant Edgar Cayce, through his spiritual insights, was able to provide clients with profound physical healing. Cayce was further known for predicting future events via his dreams. He also channeled and documented stories concerning the legendary lost civilization of Atlantis, a long forgotten and some feel suppressed advanced civilization, disregarded by mainstream academia because of the suggestion it existed several 100,000 years ago. Cayce wrote, quote, "There lived in this land of Atlantis one Emilius, who first noted the separation of the beings as inhabited the portion of the earth's sphere or plane of these peoples into male and female as separated entities or individuals." Close quote. The very essence of twin flames is one soul divided into two physical bodies, divided between divine feminine and divine masculine. The yin-yang symbol, which stems from ancient Chinese philosophy, perfectly describes the harmonious coming together of feminine and masculine energies, creating oneness and completion. The dark area representing the feminine yin energy, the masculine light symbolizing the yang energy. People describe the individual backgrounds of each twin as being very different. Although this may not always be the case, on the face of it their personality may differ greatly. The powerful alchemy that occurs when these contrasted differences complement and create wholeness, oneness. During the early stages of a twin flame first time meeting come an exciting whirlwind of emotion and intense feelings of euphoric bliss. Powerful, unique sexual love and bliss energies are deeply experienced by both twins. Many have reported a strong focus on synchronicity of numbers, which is the universe providing feedback on the connection. Combinations such as 1111, 111, 2222, 222, in fact a huge array of numbers have been attributed to the twin flame journey. This coming together, some claim, profoundly upgrades and influences their internal and etheric energy systems. As time progresses, the intensity of the connection can start to expose past hurt and traumas that needs to be dealt with and healed. This is where things tend to become unstable, with intense discussions, anger, resentment, stress can start to divide the connection. It's at this point for the majority there is a period of separation. Both individuals are unable to hold the powerful energies that are forged from the alchemy of their connection, as deeply embedded trauma is triggered by each twin. Past hurt needs to be faced and healed in order to move on and find forgiveness, not only towards each other, but more importantly, within themselves. In many cases, one twin can be more awake to the connection than the other, thereby creating instability from the imbalance. In most cases, the feminine energy within the relationship is more awake to the power of the connection and its divine importance, whereas the masculine overrides their heartfelt feelings with logic, intellectualizing the relationship as a lost cause, down to the seemingly messy, chaotic state of the connection. In essence, there is a dual role to this process, with the healing of trauma and in tandem, the balancing of feminine and masculine energies within both individuals. This process, it should be highlighted, isn't defined by gender. The male twin can be very much in their feminine energy, with the female in the masculine energy. These interchangeable energies can also be very much part of a same-sex relationship and not necessarily segregated to a heterosexual partnership. Many commentators within the twin flame arena discuss the runner and chaser dynamic, with these roles being switched at various points in the journey. One twin runs head-on with passion and absolute conviction in the connection and its importance. The other, overwhelmed, runs, sometimes in anger and frustration, trying to hide and discount the intense feelings they are now having for the twin. They have real difficulty in reconciling the pain and angst they feel due to the emotional chaos. It is stated a twin flame acts as a mirror, exposing areas of your life and history that needs attention and deep healing. Some believe twins act as an antenna, transmuting exterior trauma accumulated from relatives, ancestors, and the wider collective consciousness. The anger and frustration each twin feels is the anger and frustration they have towards themselves, amplified. Seemingly innocuous petty disagreements can have an intense echoing effect. Many view this journey as a deeply spiritual experience with a growing cultivation and knowingness towards a higher power, divine source, or God, whichever description you feel more comfortable with. This concept isn't beholden to any particular religion, but does without a doubt come with an understanding of a higher intelligent power, and the subsequent dissolving of an individual's ego as a result of the twins' deep emotional cleansing. Some may never accept the challenge spiritually confronting these hurts, they run away permanently. Others use it, harness it as a tool for powerful and supercharged spiritual advancement. Their actions heal the overall collective, their own happiness, sense of self, and the twin flame connection. This period of separation and healing can be exhausting. It signifies the death of the old self and the rebirth of the new. This coming together and separation can occur multiple times before a permanent reunion eventually takes place. This type of relationship and narrative is at complete odds with the Hollywood or literal fiction of what a love story should be. Harmonious, loving, devoid of any real drama. By mainstream standards, the relationship could be perceived as being incredibly toxic and damaging to both individuals. It can be challenging to think that healing and harmony is only gained through diligent work. If twin flames are genuine, paradoxically, this toxicity is the catalyst for profound healing of two individuals, propelling them into deep love and intense knowing of oneness they have never felt before, preceded by an inner urge to give back to humanity and heal the imbalance of this earthly plane. If you perform a search on the types of traits that define a twin flame connection, there can be much conflicting, confusing information. Some of the main experiences people report are powerful similarities in childhood experiences, shared interests, passions, and even food habits. Telepathic communication is always strong between twins. They can feel each other emotionally, physically, and spiritually. It's almost impossible to lie or be deceptive towards a potential twin. They sense it. This behavior can create huge disharmony in the connection if one tries to hide anything from their twin. The voice of a twin can also be incredibly transformative, soothing, triggering, eliciting strong feelings of tranquility and calm. The most powerful, almost sacred aspect of a twin flame experience is the physical connection. It can be an electrifying experience to be in close proximity of your twin. During close sexual contact, the bond can elicit extremely powerful alchemical reactions, which are almost tantric in nature. Some have even reported on Kundalini experiences and activation due to the powerful divine energies. During the process of healing, once an individual has truly come to peace with themselves and the connection, some describe this as the moment when the twin flames will naturally come together. Ideally, both twins will be working on themselves, but even if one twin is still asleep to the connection, the other twin's spiritual work and healing, many say, has a profound effect on the healing of the other twin and the connection overall. If the twins do come into union, it's not to say conflict and arguments won't be triggered again, but both will see the importance of the connection and be willing to work together and heal those last vestiges of pain and trauma. It's after this union that twin flames generally tend to have a shared spiritual path, both working in service towards humanity and potentially even towards humanity's ascension into a fifth dimensional consciousness. The path described above doesn't necessarily define this as a prescribed journey for all twin flames, or in no way guaranteeing a final union. There are many different shapes and sizes and pathways people may follow. Some discuss the possibility of a person encountering their false twin flame, which is when an individual wrongly identifies a person as their true twin flame. This can have a devastating emotional effect, but in hindsight, this could be merely a person's individual journey bringing them one step closer to their actual true twin flame. Others comment on the likelihood of a potential matrix-like reality with dark unseen negative influences working tirelessly to prevent true twin flame relationships coming into union. This is where we start to delve deeply into the more esoteric areas of reality. For some, this may not resonate as credible, but it's always good to expose yourself to all avenues of information. The online entity Cobra, who is reported to be an Eastern European male who keeps his identity hidden. He claims to have full access to his past life memories as a Palladian extraterrestrial and regularly posts on the internet providing spiritual advice and updates concerning the warlike struggle against dark interdimensional forces. He is a perceived boot on the ground for positive ET influence, which he claims are trying to liberate humanity and the Earth from a very sophisticated negative control system. In an article on his website, 2012 Portal Blogspot, dated the 8th of July 2018, titled Sacred Union, the following is an extract from the article detailing his understanding of twin flames. Quote, "Since the Kurgan Archon invasion more than 5,000 years ago, the Archons are using etheric and plasma scalar technology to disrupt sacred unions. These disruptions are the source of most drama in love relationships. They are then harvesting the psychic energy of those disruptions and funneling into Sahuna Sarara vortex, which they are actively suppressing for millennia by creating wars in the region. Their first way is to create disruptions in existing relationships and even engineer relationships themselves. Their second method is to switch one of the pair off and thus create great emotional pain for the other. Their third way is to induce possessiveness and create jealousy dramas. Their fourth way is using isolating scalar fields to disconnect people from each other. Their fifth way is to create women physically passive, so a woman can never physically approach a man. Their sixth way is to create men emotionally passive. Their seventh way is to induce twin soul fantasy when someone is projecting an idealized image on a partner, and if nothing else works, they tend to kill happy couples with directed energy weapons. Obviously, for some, this could be a stretch to truly believe this is a viable possibility. Even though it may seem fantastical, it's worth considering as a valid scenario. There is much content to be found covering the journey of twin flames. All report a slightly different take on the journey and variations on the type of people it attracts. Some of the best articles I have found on the subject are written on a website called Wake Up Experience, which goes relatively deep into the esoteric nature of the connection and the reason for its possible existence. These articles can be found linked in the description below this video. Twin flames are a stable, regular theme in a multitude of spiritual YouTube channels. Titles such as 10 Ways You Know You've Met Your Twin, or 5 Signs You Know You're Coming to Union with Your Twin. Also, many YouTube tarot card readers have regular collective readings concerning the state and future prediction of twin flame relationships. This constant mining, looking for meaning in the connection, can be counterproductive and take people away from doing the actual work of healing on themselves. Whole industries have been born out of the twin flame phenomenon, with online courses designed to assist in self-directed healing and growth for twin flame union, or either helping individuals grow spiritually and put them in a place whereby they are ready to meet their twin. Twin Flames Universe offers online courses. Its founders, Jeff and Shalir, also wrote an accompanying book titled Twin Flames, Finding Your Ultimate Lover. The book conveys their own experience of the twin flame journey and various techniques that aid healing within a twin flame connection, namely the mirroring technique, which works off the premise of all negative actions between twins being the result of an unhealed hurt and trauma from childhood and previous relationships. Going deep within yourself and sending love and healing to that particular area that is being highlighted by your twin. Another example of an online twin flame style mystery school is twinflameprogram.com, which again provides people with support and exercise to assist them in healing or seeking a twin flame union. In no way can I vouch for either of these online courses, and I'm unable to provide information whether these courses are actually helpful. I'm merely communicating that there are spiritual processes out there to potentially help you with your inner healing and twin union. Kevin Moore, via his YouTube channel The Moore Show, interviewed author Miguel Dean on the 20th of July 2019. Miguel penned the book Bring Him Home, a twin flame story, which details his own personal experiences and initial skepticism concerning the concept of twin flames. Interestingly, the very action of writing the book and exploring the unfolding story became an intrinsic part of the twin flame narrative. Miguel experienced multiple occasions of separation and reunion between him and his twin during the process of compiling the book. After the book's completion, Miguel's twin was shocked at how he'd been so public about the journey. After finally reading the completed manuscript, she was so touched by the book, it eventually brought the couple back into union. Miguel's own journey has led him to realise the absolute importance of self-healing. He now offers sessions to help men in particular heal from trauma and rebalance their own internal feminine and masculine energies. Further details on this can be found on his website. For many, it would be hard to understand or even get to grips with the very concept of twin flames. It's not scientifically provable, measurable, or quantifiable. All we have is channeled information from unseen forces and the ancient accounts recorded in manuscripts, and of course, more important, other people's own current experiences. It's the people who are on this journey that are best placed to educate the rest of us. They know, they feel the energy, the connection. Mainstream discounts people's inner experiences. The inner world of a person simply can't be recorded scientifically. Much of the unseen aspects of our reality are simply suppressed due to this misplaced logic. Can we consider twin flames as a poetic metaphor for the future reality of humanity that's less dependent on the logical rational chatter of the egoic monkey mind, existing in a more flow-type state with the universe, a more intuitive inner knowing? Is this a glimpse of a 5D reality where deep inner knowing and feeling is the key to decoding our reality? A twin flame union experience of telepathy, connection, and feelings of deep profound love and bliss? Are these aspects of our future manifested, providing us all with a small window of a more harmonious, loving reality that awaits us all?